Ndewo! Welcome to igboclass.com. In today's video, we'll be talking about the Igbo money system. Ihe ndị Igbo ji mere ego, the Igbo money system. You might be wondering, before the introduction of paper money and coins, what were the indigenous Igbo people using as a means of exchange? Join me as we go through what the Igbo people were using as a means of exchange. Let's begin. Ka anyị bido. The Igbo money system. Ihe ndị Igbo ji azụ ahịa. The Igbo money system. Ihe ndị Igbo ji azụ ahịa. The first one we have is cowries. Cowries. Just like every other indigenous people in the West African region, the Igbo people were also using cowries, known as ego ayoro. Ego ayoro. You can also call it ego ayo. Some dialects in the Igbo also call it ego okpoho. And what are these cowries? They are small, shiny seashells. The pre-colonial Igbo society made use of them. Every person made use of the cowries because that is the most common form of trade and the means of exchange in the society. It helped in buying and selling. Not only that, cowries were also used in paying bride price. They used cowries in paying bride price. Also, some fines and settlements were made with cowries. If you fall short of any of the custom and you are asked to pay a fine, you pay with cowries. Cowries then was just like the normal naira that we are using today, dollars and all that. It was cowries that everybody was using. Again, cowries were not just as a means of exchange. They were also used in rituals. They used cowries in divination. They used cowries in sacrifices. After cowries, what else were the Igbo people using as a means of exchange? Let's look at the number 2. Manila. Manila was also used as a means of exchange in the pre-colonial Igbo society. And what is this manila? It is made up of iron, bronze, or copper. Manila is known as Igwe, Ego Igwe, Ego Igwe. Now, unlike the cowries, that is the most common form of trade, means of exchange in the pre-colonial society, Igbo society, manila were specially reserved for the rich and the affluent in the society, in the sense that anybody seen with manila is known as Odogu. Anybody seen with manila is known as Dike. Manila was a sign of wealth and status. It was also used in paying bride price. And you would agree with me that the bride price here that we are talking about here is not just for common people. The rich paying bride price, the rich people paying their bride price. That is why even up till today, if somebody is rich, if somebody is buoyant enough, people do address the person as Onwere ego igwe, Onwere ego igwe, Onwere ego igwe, meaning the person is rich, referring to manila being used by the rich and the people of high status in the society. That is the Igbo pre-colonial society. What else was used as a medium of exchange in the Igbo pre-colonial society? Trade by barter. Trade by barter. Nke pụtara azụmahịa mgbanwe. Azụmahịa mgbanwe. Trade by barter is very common to the indigenous people, not just the Igbo indigenous people, the Hausas, the Yorubas, people in the West Africa, and even beyond. I don't have salt, you have salt. I need yam, you have yam. What do? We exchange. We exchange things of the same value. Now, products were used as a means of exchange, as a means of trading. Products like salt, that is nnu, palm oil, mmanụ, and so on, were used as a scale or a measure of exchange. Now, it wasn't just about agricultural products. Other products like the beads were also used as a means of exchange. When I mean the beads, I'm talking about the royal beads. Aka were also used as a means of exchange. Who has what you want and is willing to give out what you need? Trade by barter. What else did the Igbo people use as a means of exchange? The pounds, shillings, and pence. Pounds, shillings, and pence. This was introduced as a result of colonization. Yes, the British colonized Nigeria, and the Igbo, being a part of Nigeria, adopted the British West African pound, which was introduced in the early 90s. The British West African pound was introduced in the early 90s. Now, the Igbos are not left out, although in some areas the pre-colonial money system were still used, but as time went on, the pounds and the shillings drifted away the indigenous money system. The accepted means of exchange was now the British West African pounds, which is broken down in pounds, shillings, and pence. It continued till 1973, when the naira and the kobo system, the naira and the kobo money system was officially introduced in Nigeria. Now, some of our grandfathers, while making money statement, would sometimes use oruro half penny or ihe bụ half penny, referring to those days when they were using pence, when they were using shillings, and when they were using pounds. Oruro half penny, telling you that it's not half a penny, referring to the shillings, the pounds, and the pence that they used during the colonial era. The next one, which is the naira and the kobo money system. Naira and kobo. The naira and kobo. Bam. I believe this is where we are today. And majority of you, my viewers, are just knowing of the other means of exchange. The naira money system was introduced in 1973, where Nigeria officially switched from the British West African pound to naira and kobo. In today's denomination, naira denomination, we have 5 naira, 10 naira, 20 naira, 50 naira, 100 naira, 200 naira, 500 naira, and 1000 naira, bearing the faces of our heroes in them. The Igbos continued their trading using the naira system of money. We now count them using the number value, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ọ bụrụ n'asụsụ Igbo, ọ bụrụ otu, abụọ, atọ, anọ, ise, isii, asaa, asatọ, itoolu, iri, wee dịrị gabazie. So when we are talking about 20 naira, it is now naira iri abụọ, that is 20. Naira iri abụọ. 1000 naira. Otu puku naira. And so on. So from the cowries to the trade by barter system, to introduction of pounds, shillings and pence, up till naira and kobo, the Igbos still thrive in trading, using all these means as a means of exchange for trading, for buying and selling. This brings us to the end of our video today. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more interesting videos. Till I come your way again, I am Onye Nkuzi Chiamaka. Ka ọ dị.